August, end of the month, flow Joe, kill mo, run it up, keep clean. Never let them touch, fits like temper tantrums. Girl, come back that up. All in the club, and bring all your girlfriends. Girl, hopping up about a Pearl 6. Louis speed bag glued to her wrist. She was getting paid. She ain't think a thing, but she was thinking slay. We blade thicker than a snicker bag. Talking about she don't come with no baggage. Y'all in her bag, I probably should. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow Joe chasing a check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow Joe chasing a check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Oakland Raiders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on first down. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
He lost two there, and it's third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Connects it to Roberts, right side. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start. Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Mayfield. Flush to his right. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Derek Johnson, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? You're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They'll run to Marshawn Lynch, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
No surprise watching Marshawn Lynch scatter bodies as he runs, but I remember doing games of his at Cal, and I remember the moves, the jump cuts, the elusiveness, as well as the strength.
And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
The best thing that ever happened to Mario Edwards Jr., in my estimation, was moving from defensive end into defensive tackle.
Why is that?
I think he had such good size, but his quickness now is overwhelming when he works inside against guards and centers. And that allows him to make plays as one we just saw there, getting into the backfield and getting a tackle for the loss.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And the numbers from a week ago for Jarvis Landry. He was no doubt a key piece to their puzzle in that victory.
And when this offense plays well, you just know he's going to be in the middle of everything, don't you? I mean, defense is going to say, we've got to take this guy away. He doesn't allow himself to be taken away, does he?
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Shreds the tackle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. On fourth down, the Browns hand things over to the veteran Britton Colquitt to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
First carry for Doug Martin, the 2-time Pro Bowler in Tampa. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Goff. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun now for Carr. Going deep here for Bryant. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he takes this down deep into Cleveland territory. On third down, that is a big-time play for the Raiders. 62 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
Carr to throw on second down. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Cooper's first catch, and good for a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Get down. You ready?
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And this is caught by Cooper for a Raider touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
He's going to look deep now for Landry. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well. Baker Mayfield, obviously the #1 pick overall. That was controversial, though. What ultimately made the Browns go in his way?
Well, post-draft, I did hear a Browns executive talk about the efficacy of Baker Mayfield. In other words, how people rally to him, how people respond to him. He talked about seeing him at a workout, how he showed up, yelled out to the other guys. They yelled back with the same response, ran right to him, and they were ready to start the workout. He said things like that and his talent tipped the balance in his favor to go #1.
First down, Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And that was a young pup, the rookie, being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field, where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
On third and long, it's Carr. He completes it to Bryant. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. We'll remind you once again, coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He's got stats and scores from around the NFL as we wrap up the first month of the season.
No longer is he a rookie, the coach, a true veteran now.
A crafty veteran. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. On the draw, Carr leads to Washington. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Get set. 180. Set.
Carr gives to Richard. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
180.
Throwing now is Carr. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jordy Nelson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this 1st half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the 2nd quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. Wide open receiver complete. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this 1st half, but he's got a 1st down here. They go play action. Mayfield. And the Raiders have got him. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Mayfield on play action. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Going back to Lander. This time he's got him. Complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Now Mayfield. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Dancing to his left. And some space here. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Working out of the gun. Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. So we've reached... All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Tavecchio now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. And now Mayfield on the bootleg, rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Carl Joseph.